Thank you for joining us. We are Half and Half Talks. Today we're talking about the DC Extended Universe. I think it's called DC Worlds now. I think there's an official thing.
Is it called DC Worlds?
I think that was an official thing that WB released or something like that. Some stupid.
That's an awful title.
Or the Worlds of DC. Something weird like that.
God.
But yeah, Half and Half. How it works is it's Mitchell.
Hello.
And John, myself. And what we do is we kind of go halvesies on most of these things. One of us typically starts, the other one typically finishes, or we do, like when we do reviews, we start spoiler free and spoiler full. But since we're just talking about, DC and we're ranking these guys, I think we could just, you want to go back and forth? Do you want to start or do I want to start?
We can go back and forth.
We can go back and forth.
Try
All right,
something a little bit different.
We'll start with, I think there's 6 in total. I know you still haven't seen the Aquaman.
I have not seen the Aquaman, that's why it's not on my list. How many, Yee-hoos would you give it out of 10?
I give it 7.5. Yes, out of 10.
My man.
Yes, 7.5. My man's out of 10. But no, we could start with your lowest. I'm looking at ours. I'm comparing it. This is practically the same.
Is it really? Let me see.
Like our top 3 or top 2, 3 are different. That is the only exception. So yeah, we could tag team it. If you want to start with your number 6, because it's my number 6. So go for it.
All right, my number 6 is actually my number 5 because I haven't seen Aquaman. It's my least favorite, to put in perspective, is Suicide Squad.
Yes, as is mine.
That movie is mega trash. And I watched it again the other night. It was on TV, and my opinion still holds true to this day. It's garbage. There's almost nothing redeeming about this movie. It feels like someone with ADD got $100 million and was like, I'm gonna make a film. The pacing is really, really bad.
Oh, it is.
The characters are not likable. The writing sucks. The villain is terrible.
There was a villain?
Exactly. They mean the dancing lady?
Yeah, I was gonna
His
say.
brother is like an Aztec person.
Thick eyebrows. What's her name?
Cara Delevingne.
Delevingne.
Yeah.
She was doing her belly dancing and speaking in tongues the whole movie and kissing people and turning them into putties.
Pretty much.
Ugh.
It's not very clear, what exactly they are.
What were her powers and what was her motivation? I believe her motivation was, I don't like technology. They worship machines.
Was it what it was? I thought it was, I love my brother.
I think how it worked, like she whispered in her brother, because he was like, where are we? It has changed so much. She was like, there's a world that worships machines. So to destroy said machines, they make a big light show in the center of Central City or whatever.
And maybe it has energy.
And there's
it
floating
like
rocks. And it looks a lot like Ghostbusters and Venom and the Transformers. It looks like a lot of beams of light in film, to be honest. It's like Man of Steel, too. Big beam of light.
Man of Steel is like leaps and bounds above this movie.
For sure.
And I'm not that big of a fan of Man of Steel. This movie is so bad. I had such a great time making fun of it in the theaters. This movie tries to be so serious at times, and it is just the worst attempt at anything I've ever seen.
My thing with this movie is that I think it can be funny at times. Will Smith has a few lines that actually had me laughing. Margot Robbie has maybe 1 or 2. If you get past her terrible accent, because it's not good.
It's not good. It's
we all are.
Yeah, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Oh my god. And then they said ha cha cha cha. They did their jazz hands offset. But no, it was the whole movie, you heard the whole backstory stuff with Jared Leto sending people rats.
Yeah, a lot of really character acting outside of the movie.
In a movie that's not that great. If this was a Tarantino film, great.
For a performance that's not that great. Because his performance wasn't even good. This is probably the worst iteration of the Joker I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, that's one thing I love about the Joker, is all the subtlety. When he puts literally the tattoo of a smile over his face and laughs.
Here's the thing. I think I said in an earlier podcast that I like to play devil's advocate on my Instagram sometimes, just so people could be like, all right, it's not that horrible. I understood what they tried to do with the Joker, which was making him a mob boss. We haven't seen him be a real mob boss before, and I think he did have power. Like, he had his right-hand man.
Yeah.
That was dope. And, like, when he was at that... This part, actually, I really enjoyed when he was at that butcher place, and he puts his ring out to kiss it, and he had that, like, serious-ass face. I was like, all right,
And then he straddles the guy's
Yeah,
lap.
exactly. At first, I was like, all right, that's what's up. And then he sits on him and starts like purring.
He's
and
like, I like you.
oh, but you're gonna be my friend. God, Jared Leto. No,
Such a-
like,
Such a weird character.
it is, and I think there are very few redeeming qualities that aren't the opening scene, and maybe when I can't even think of another one. Like the opening,
The dead shot stuff was cool.
Yes,
like the wrist stuff was cool, where he's like taking out dudes on top of a cop car. I'm like, that's pretty dope.
Exactly, and I like this. The intros for the most part were really good. I thought that, well, with the exception of Harley Quinn, because it just says like in a splash page for a fraction of a second, she killed Robin.
But that's not even the worst one. The worst one, in my opinion, is either Captain Boomerang or Killer Croc.
Killer Croc is terrible. Did he even have one?
I know.
Well,
I don't think he
was
did.
like he was just like in the jail, just
That's
E.T. I miss it.
He has like man boobs. It's weird.
Exactly.
He's not shredded.
He's so
Like,
not shredded, bro. He's so slubby.
he's like
so slubby.
the worst. And then Captain Boomerang is robbing a bank, and then the Flash shows up and says, "What's up? I'm fast." And then cuts to, doesn't even show the Flash doing anything, a beam of lightning, and then him flying into the camera.
Exactly.
And that's it.
I liked his just because that was the first time I saw the Flash on screen with an actual budget. Because the Flash on the CW, the budget is absolute garbage.
Well, what I don't understand is that they had a really awesome suit,
Yes.
as far as I know,
Yes.
for the first couple seasons of the Flash.
Oh, no.
And the most recent one I've seen, like,
It looks
terrible.
It's because he has no chin strap anymore, so you can really see his chin, and it's too much chin.
His head looks like a balloon. Like it's so weird.
Too much chin for me, at least. And before it was too like burgundy, but the Arrowverse is a whole nother problem.
I liked that one. I liked that suit because it didn't look like shit. Unlike the one that's on. But this one takes notes from that first season because it almost looks like armor,
Yes,
which
and
I
like that.
am a fan of.
It's armor. It's plated. Like there's a reason it's made of the way it's made of because he's going fast. Like if he wears a jacket, it's gonna tear. If he wears like a leotard, like he's been wearing since 1950, it's gonna tear.
You don't like the bullhead Flash?
No. Oh wait, no, Jay Garrick.
Flat-
I actually love Jay Garrick. That's
I
the
know
problem.
nothing about him. I just know he looks terrible.
Can I tell you something? I know nothing about him either. I think I've read maybe an issue with him in it. Maybe. I love it. On Injustice 2, he was the first skin I bought.
Really?
He was the first skin. I love it,
man.
bro. He was my screensaver on my phone for weeks. But that's beside the point. Suicide Squad, bad movie.
Yes, the worst DC movie. I think.
For sure.
I think
Good
that the
soundtrack.
problem. Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Too bad none of it was in the movie. It was like other songs that were not even on the soundtrack. And the difference between this movie being bad and like Batman Forever being bad and like those Joel Schumacher Batman movies is that they know they're bad.
Yeah.
Like the one with Mr. Freeze, he whips out a bat card.
Yeah.
Like, and, like he kind of like they kind of play into that goofiness in the movie. And
Yeah.
like this movie
took
absolutely has no idea what it wants to be.
It took itself way too seriously.
Like I'm pretty sure David Ayer, who directs cringy, gritty movies for the most part, that he directed End of Watch. He wrote Training Day.
I really liked End of Watch.
I really liked End of Watch too.
Why did he do this?
But they were so dark, and I feel like he had a really good script and a really good cut of this movie. Maybe not
It probably just
the
got
best.
edited to dirt.
I think it had to do with the executives that said, "Look, we just saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and we need this.
We need that right now.
Make it so Joker is likable, and also that he's only in the movie for 5 minutes.
We'll give you money for a Ferrari.
We'll
okay?
put him on all the posters.
We'll give you money for a Ferrari, but no security on set. I'm not sure if you know, they were releasing like the whole Ferrari chase scene with Batman on the roof. That was all on Instagram.
I know. I know.
There were so many set photos getting leaked. I was like, why am I even seeing it?
It's like the Joker movie that's coming out now. The whole movie's on the internet.
I think I've only seen him like in the train station, and that's really it in my opinion. That's
I've
all
seen a
I've
lot.
seen. Really?
I've seen a lot.
I'm trying to stay away from that. 'Cause I'm looking forward to that.
All in all, this movie is a mess. Like,
It is.
has no idea tonally what it wants to be.
Yes.
The lines are super corny.
Yes, with the
Like-
exception of like maybe 7, maybe.
I wouldn't even go that far. Like I said earlier, there's a line at the end of the movie where Will Smith points at the dancing lady and is like, "Woman, you are evil," just like that. And I put my face in my hands. and I was crying of laughter.
It was bad. Didn't Harley have a terrible line after that?
Harley had terrible lines throughout the whole movie, but
yeah.
one of the more memorable ones was when she's on the airplane and she's getting introduced to Samurai Woman.
Yes.
And she's like, "What is that? Scent of death?" And I'm like, "What
Harley
the
Quinn.
fuck did you just say?"
Harley Quinn, nice to meet you.
Like, so dumb.
Like, make up your mind, honest to God. It's a shame. Whoever her linguist coach was, I pray that they never get work again. Right-handed guy.
She, to me, her and Will Smith are some of the better parts of this movie.
Oh, for sure.
And what I don't understand is
like,
how you got Jared Leto to like look like complete utter shit.
Wait, you didn't like El Diablo?
The most memorable character, almost second coming to a Native American man, Slipknot, whoever it was.
Slipknot, who didn't even get a character intro, and then they murder instantly.
Didn't even his character intro. He punched a woman. That's his character intro.
That's how you know he's bad. How do we know? How do we know this guy's evil? Punch a woman.
And then there is a scene. It goes out of its way to explain things that are already really evident.
Yeah.
Like there's the scene where, you know, she takes the bomb and escapes and puts the bomb near, what's his name? Rick Flag.
Yes.
Mr. Military Man.
Yes.
Puts it next to him and like she vanishes. And then it shows us that same scene later on in the movie. Like we didn't already just see it.
Yes.
And we're like, and?
Your point?
What else happened? Show me something else.
Rick Flag was also really generic. He was a really not good
absolutely he was. This movie, I had such high hopes for this movie, and when I saw it, I just I couldn't get over how bad it was. I had a really good time making fun of it.
As did I, but I don't think I had as much fun making fun of this one as I did Batman v Superman, which is the next one on both our lists.
Yes, it's also number 4 on mine.
5 on mine. I'm not sure if did you see the extended edition?
I did.
I think if we were counting the extended edition as a separate film, I would put it probably above Justice League.
I personally would not, because it's 3 hours long and it still drags you through the mud.
Yeah, it does for sure. But like, there's I think the extended does a great job at connecting the scenes, because the editing in the theatrical was the worst.
It was bad. Everything felt really disjointed, and no transition felt natural.
No transition. If you weren't here, you're gonna be in this scene for 30 seconds, and then bam, we're in Kenya. And guess what? Superman's there too.
And then he's on top of a mountain talking to his dead dad about horses.
Oh my God, yeah. We got to see the Waynes die again. I'm not sure if you know, Martha and Bruce Wayne, they die.
Yeah, did you know Batman's parents are dead?
Yeah, that storyline that happened in 1939. Yeah, we're gonna just keep rehashing that.
And also cast like actual name actors to play them that don't say a word.
They don't have a word
the whole time.
Oh my God.
That's what makes me think they were gonna go with a Flashpoint storyline.
I think they will eventually.
Because they're like, listen, you play the line here, you play the story, you play the characters. You don't say a word. But I promise you, when we get to that Flashpoint movie, you're gonna be Batman. You're gonna be the Joker,
the star.
Yeah,
people are gonna love you.
Like, no,
and then no, they are in a flash for maybe 20 to 25 seconds, where their only thing they do is turn around and see the barrel of the gun.
Yeah,
that is the extent. I do like the shot where he has the gun in her pearls and shoots.
Yeah,
that's a really good shot.
It is.
And then but starting a movie with a child Bruce Wayne falling several hundred feet and then standing up, by the way. You remember when he falls through the tunnel? He's like, ah!
Oh, yeah.
I laughed when I saw that. I don't know about you.
No,
you were at that screening too, right?
No.
You didn't?
I don't think I worked there at the time. I think that's part of the period I was not working at Epic.
Really?
Yeah, there was like a month I quit and then came back. I think that was like that month.
I do remember, yes. I went to that screening. That was my first screening, fun fact. And yeah, I remember laughing immediately. But the second I saw that, I was like, this is not going to end well for me. And then Bruce immediately gets picked up by the bats. I know it's a dream sequence. At least I'm pretty sure it is.
At this point, I wouldn't doubt that it's not. But
he's getting picked up by the bats, like they're swirling around him, and he's floating in the center and looking up at the light. And it's corny. And I get what they're trying to do. It's not. Oh boy.
It is. So this movie would be infinitely more watchable if it was shorter. This movie was 2.5 hours long.
And the only good version of it is 3 hours long.
Exactly. And I'm not willing to watch it again because it's not even that redeeming.
Yes.
It connects the scenes, yes, but the scenes still aren't interesting. And this movie just kind of drags you through the mud. And every time there's some really, really awesome parts in this movie. Like the sequence at the end where Batman fights all the people in the warehouse is awesome.
Yes, and the rated R version is even better.
Yeah, because it's like
bloody.
Yes, and I was one of the people that was totally okay with Batman killing people. I'm like, I don't care, like have him stab this, like blatantly stab this guy.
Exactly. Well, the thing with Batman, it's a lot like Transformers, where I told you Batman fans, they treat him like the gospel, bro. Batman, he is their Jesus. So when they see him killing, that's not Batman.
I don't understand.
And I understand that's not Batman, but like, relax. Like, I like what they're doing, how he's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I do like that too, and I like how he's like really jaded and like older.
And I think they should capitalize on Batman being crazy more often than they do, because he's like, I have to be justice. But at the same time, you are a man in a suit who is fighting clowns
and also,
in the street.
Yeah, they shit all over Batman in Justice League, by the way.
Yeah.
They take everything we're doing about that character and throw it in the garbage in Justice League.
Crumple it, throw it out the window, and speed away.
That's a different number. Okay, we're still on Batman vs Superman, right?
Not good.
So let's talk about the villain.
Which one? There's like 15.
What? You don't remember which one? Yeah, exactly. You mean terrible Lex Luthor?
Terrible
Lex. Terrible Doomsday?
Terrible Doomsday, terrible Russian guy with neck tattoo. He was pretty bad. And then like Batman and Superman had that beef for a bit.
Lex Luthor in this movie, I would almost prefer the dancing lady, just so I didn't have to watch Jesse Eisenberg stuff a Jolly Rancher into a dude's mouth.
Yes.
And he just felt so odd. He didn't. I personally am jaded against Jesse Eisenberg because I think he's like really unbearable.
Yes.
But I thought that this version of Lex Luthor was bad. There's nothing wrong with being different, but this version was bad. Just like the Joker. Everybody's like, well, it was different. Well, different doesn't always mean good. This was not good. Doomsday was a giant CGI monster who just had a bunch of beam fights with Superman and Wonder Woman.
And what pissed me off is not only is Doomsday not good, they put him in the trailer.
They did. They put him in the trailer. I was really disappointed.
In trailer 2. Not TV spot, not trailer 3.
I know.
Trailer 2, months before this movie comes out.
Yeah.
Pissed me off. And the Doomsday fight, yeah, it is a bunch of beam struggles. I did like the end of it. I did like when Wonder Woman came in, at least. I
liked Wonder Woman in this movie, but
even though she did jack,
she did more than fucking Batman. That's for sure. Batman didn't do anything.
He threw a batarang at
Batman crashed his ship and said, "Oh shit!" when a beam came in his face, and that's it. This movie kind of treated you like you were dumb at parts, because there's a part where they open up the laptop and you see Aquaman's logo and the Flash logo, and if you're like have any sort of comic background, you're like, "Oh, I know what that means," and then, as if that wasn't enough, they feel the need to elaborate on it later on in the movie when she opens the laptop and it shows about 30 seconds of each character and it all looks like garbage.
Yes. It's all like found footage that anyone could find anywhere, by the way.
Yeah, literally, she found it on Google.
Exactly. Like the Flash video is legit security cam footage in a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Anyone with a manager key and a phone could get that footage.
Bruce Wayne like Snapchatted it to her.
Exactly.
It was not.
It was not good. But I think the redeeming quality of BVS, and especially extended edition, was their fight. Was the BVS part. Though the motivations were not there. And yes, the ending was terrible. There was nothing cooler than Bruce shooting a pellet at Clark, and he catches it, and then it's like that. For me, when that happened, I was like, oh, Bruce is gonna murder him.
Yeah.
Oh, like, Bruce is gonna break this man's neck.
And I did enjoy that 10 minutes of the film.
That was great.
Like,
the theatrical 8 minutes.
Yeah, literally. I did not enjoy nearly enough of this movie that it was trying to get me to, because it was like, you care about Superman's dead dad, and you also care about
his alive mom,
the politics, and him. It's just, I don't know. It's all over the place, in my opinion.
I know you're not a Superman fan. I personally am, especially as of late. But the one thing I really hate about this movie is I like the bomb in the building. Yeah, I like that, and it's weird how in the extended edition is where they explain why he can't see it, because if you watch the theatrical, you're just like, yo, why didn't you look, bro? Come on.
He's just like, oh, well, that sucks.
He's like, oh, that's a bomb. Anyway, Congresswoman.
He's like, I am legal.
But in the extended like exposable character that they cut entirely out of the theatrical, by the way, I thought that was hilarious.
Yes, the lady.
They cut her entirely out of the theatrical. I thought that was so funny. But she was like, yo, it was lead lined. And then what was her name? Lois was like, yeah, he can't see through it. But not just that, like I get that. I thought that was good. I thought it was genius in my opinion. The part that pissed me off is that Superman didn't stay. That's a Superman thing. Stay. Check on everyone. Talk to people. Mm-hmm. He was like, I'm flying.
Yeah. Boom!
Exactly.
He crashes through the ceiling. That's what I did like in the extended edition. It did show him helping people afterwards.
Exactly. But still, it wasn't enough. Like, it was him walking one person to a stretcher and said, my job's done here, and then flies away because he's sad.
Yeah, it was more, it was, I'll give it the movie. It was better than him just going,
leaving.
well, this bombed.
Well, fire around me.
Boom, goodbye.
I thought... I understood the power of him crying in the fire. I thought it was cheesy, though. I thought they could have done it a different way.
See, I didn't think it was cheesy. I thought they were...
I understood, like, that hurts. And I thought, like, again, there's weight to that scene. However, in my personal opinion, I just did not like seeing him look down and just one tear. Like, I think what you should do is stop sitting there and bitching and moaning and worry about the people that are alive near you. Again, it's just a Superman thing. He doesn't just sit there, make sure like 2 people could still breathe and then be like, all right, I'm out. I gotta go to North Pole, talk to my dead dad.
Yeah. Like, in a hallucination, by the way, Kevin Costner makes his iconic role known again.
Oh my gosh.
As Clark Kent's father.
Can we talk about how he walked the hill? Fly it, Clark.
Right? This dude is like backpacking across Europe.
Bro, fly. Come on. Like, I get like, oh, I just want to walk. No. This movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes in, and you haven't touched Batman yet. Fly.
I'm going to need you to speed it up there, Clark.
Exactly. It's a shame. I don't know. I like it, but I don't.
I'll touch on the fundamentals of problems with Superman when we get to Man of Steel, but he gets his ass whooped in every single movie he appears in.
He really does. Well, the thing with Superman, and I think it's good that they kind of touch on this, he doesn't know how to fight. He's just strong as hell. He has no form. No, like, and we'll talk about this more when we get to that guy, your number 2, but like when he's going against Doomsday, he's kind of just swinging and hoping that stuff lands.
And that's fine, but like he's built up to be this godlike creature, and he's getting his fucking ass whooped in every scene.
Exactly. And there's a lot of Jesus imagery, and then this dude with some little sentry guns that pop up are killing him.
Right. Right. This guy in a bat costume is just whooping his ass.
And again, I think that's a testament to the Bat's training and Superman's lack of. And I think that's really good, in my opinion. Again, I get it. Like,
that's just one of the reasons I think he's so lame. Is that like he is so powerful that nobody can match him, and they make a point of saying how powerful he is, but also he like loses every single fight he's in.
Yes, so every fight he is in.
It's very weird.
For real. It's sad. Oh well. But not as sad as the Justice League CGI.
Is that your number? Is that your number next one?
Is it? Yeah.
Woo!
Look at that.
So is mine.
Yeah, our next one's Justice League. And okay, Justice League. This one's hard for me, because I wanted to like this a lot. And again, I thought this was another movie that it got a lot more hate than it deserved.
Mm-hmm.
However, some of the hate was pretty well deserved, i.e. the mustache.
Oh God, like
mustache.
That was so Justice League coming off the heels of Suicide Squad, I thought was really not bad. Like, I walked out of Justice League, we watched it together. We watched it, and I walked out and I'm like, that wasn't bad. Yeah. Because it was like an hour 45. Yeah. Like, there was really little downtime.
Straight to the point.
I mean, they did make Batman like a giant...
He was a joke.
Wuss. Like he was the biggest bitch I've ever seen. Like, and he's so happy when he sees Superman in that movie. Like, he's just like gets the biggest smile. Yeah, he might as well have like done a jig and
ran across the field and hugged them.
It was really, really cringy.
Can I talk about it when it comes to Justice League? It does a big thing that I do not like that these things do, especially these movies, because these movies play these superheroes as ghosts. No one has seen Wonder Woman 4 forever. Mm-hmm. Batman, Cyborg's like, oh crap, he's real. Like, he's the Bat.
Yeah.
Same with like Superman, and with the exception of the Mexican village in BVS, like no one sees him. There's no up close pictures of him. Mm-hmm. And like at the end of the movie, they're all just like standing like on like the Russian doorstep saying hello everyone. And I get like in the comics and sometimes in like the cartoons they do that, but they shouldn't, in my opinion at least. These people should stay ghosts and legendary, because when you humanize them, it shows their weakness. And especially like I've told you before, Clark Kent is kind of a mistake of a character because the only difference is hair and glasses. I don't want pictures of Superman out. And then pictures of Clark out as well. Like, you remember Batman v Superman when he died? It'd be like, Superman dead, and then you turn 3 pages, also, Clark Kent dead.
The same picture. There's no glasses.
Exactly.
It's so stupid.
It's terrible. And I think that's a big fundamental problem with just Superman as a whole. But, like, yeah, like, they glamorize superheroes. And Avengers makes sense as to why they glamorize them. Because, like, the Avengers Tower is a big testament to, hey, we're there. I'm Tony Stark. You know me. Ha ha. Like, no one should know what Superman's face looks like.
Yeah.
No, and that's a big problem with the beginning where the kids are like, Superman, hippos.
And then his Play-Doh mouth is just like, anybody can be Superman.
Exactly. And I don't know, there's some good stuff. Like, I do, them as a team is not bad. I like
not good either.
I like Wonder Woman being the leader. I think she should be, because she's the only one with experience here.
She's like super OP in this movie. Like she is like also the strongest one.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like it's just they knew what they were going for when they made one. Like they hit the point with Wonder Woman. As to the other characters, they got kind of confused. Like like Cyborg and Flash. Like they just weren't. Flash was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Flash's character was not bad. He was more of the comedic relief of the movie.
He had to be. Everyone else was boring.
Still dumb. Still goofy.
Yes.
But it was not cringeworthy like Suicide Squad.
No, not at all. And here's the thing: Cyborg for me. I don't know about you. I do not like Cyborg. Unless he's on a team that makes sense for him, i.e. Teen Titans. He's going to be on Doom Patrol when that show comes out.
Which is weird because he's also not on like Doom Patrol in the comics, right? Like it's like the guy's like a street. But I guess I can see why they did Cyborg instead.
Here's the thing. I enjoy him being on teams where he can fit in. I did not like when they put him on the Justice League in the comics because he was outclassed. He was very outclassed. He had these gods around him. And yeah, you can argue Batman, but Batman's also a tactical genius.
He's has a suit made of technology.
Exactly. Where a Cyborg, I don't know. Like, he is a walking supercomputer and all. But I don't know. I feel like he's just... But everyone is doing all these magnificent things, and he's like, "All right, guys, there's a fire escape on the 3rd floor. Go there."
He's like that dude from The Matrix.
He's like the kid from Kim Possible, more like it. He's Wade. Yeah. Listen, Kim. That's what Cyborg was in this film, and that's a damn shame. Also, the reshoots were very obvious.
Oh yeah.
It's like what I told you with Solo. Reshoots were obvious. These were all filmed in a garage with a green screen.
That could arguably be in the whole movie. Yes. Honestly, that's another thing. The CG in this movie was bad. It was particularly bad.
Not all of it. Like when the original cut stuff was good. When like Superman was fighting everyone and then Flash ran by him. Like,
I thought that was good.
That was great.
I thought that was really good.
Same when him and Wonder Woman got in that headbutt match. Like when he rose up above her and used his momentum to headbutt her into the ground. I shook. That was the most metal thing, bro. That was so freaking cool. I love that part. And that's really it, though. I can't think of anything else. Like the scene when Batman was like, just save one. That was cool. When he was teaching Flash how to be a superhero. That made sense. When they meet Steppenwolf at like that one building, and they're holding all those people from Star Labs hostage, and Batman. Okay. Just run in, save one. I like that.
Okay.
Flash doesn't know what he's doing. Awesome. Be the mentor.
Yeah. Like I that was one of the better moments. More or less, what I'm talking about the CGI is everything in Russia.
Everything in Russia.
And like looked like utter shit.
I don't know about you. I did not give a damn about that family.
No, not at all.
And if they died, nothing would have changed for me.
No.
I would not have shed a single tear.
No, the emotional weight that family carried was
negative.
Non-existent.
Negative. They took away from the movie, if anything.
They're like, everybody will care about this. They'll be known for generations to come. I'm like, no,
Question,
nobody cares.
Question: why are these parademons trucking through everything? But this guy has like a shotgun and he puts some wood on his freaking windows, and they're like, oh well, can't get in this one. Sorry guys.
You're right.
All right guys, we're gonna regroup at the big tree.
The big tree. Also, like the boxes that Steppenwolf's trying to find, like are so easy to find,
Yes.
but are made to seem like they're like the most hidden things on the planet
He
Earth.
found one of them off screen. They did not give a shit in this movie.
Literally didn't show
One
didn't
of
get in
the
last
three
one.
MacGuffin pieces that he needs to destroy the Earth was found off screen. They're all doing something, and then they see a beam of light, and they're like, "Oh, I guess he got it." And next scene, like it's,
Dude, oh, I didn't even recognize until somebody pointed it out.
Uh-huh.
The one they put on Earth, they buried it like 3 feet
exactly
in dirt.
3 feet in like a forest that looked like it was heavily trafficked. Not like some hidden forest. There was a dirt road down the street, and they said, "Listen, you grab a shovel, you dig 2 feet at least. We're gonna throw it in here." Like and the other two, the Themyscira one. By the way, speaking of bad CGI, Jesus Christ,
Oh.
Themyscira. Oh my, like yeah, Atlantis was bad, or what they showed of it.
Yeah.
Themyscira was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
But no, like freaking Atlantis, they just put it on a pedestal, no guards.
No, nothing. Like,
put
there's
it in-
Amber Heard for 5 seconds, then she gets her ass beat, and then Aquaman shows up.
They put it like on a pedestal behind a locked door with one lock, and they said this'll be safe. And then yeah, like in Themyscira, it's guarded by all those women in that bunker, but all I got is bow and arrows. They had a demon coming, a demon with a legion of other demons, and they're like, "Hold up, let me get my wooden stick." This is why I hope Hawkeye and Black Widow bite it in the first 2 minutes of Endgame, because
What? Oh, true. Because
Because-
he's like, I have a sword now. And then like Thanos like, okay.
okay,
And-
doof.
Like-
That's what should have happened here when Hippolyta. I like saying her name like that
Oh
because
my
it's
God.
stupid.
I don't even know what their names are.
I know Hippolyta, but when she shows up, like Steppenwolf is like mowing through these women like nothing. He's just clotheslining bitches left and right. And then she's like, "Wait, grab this one box, put it on the end of this horse, go. Don't go anywhere. Just go."
Right, just
You see that direction? Run.
run to that mark over there, please.
Exactly. No plan. You would think they would have a contingency for something like this.
No.
They're like, all right, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tie a rope around it and shoot it, and then the next person do the same thing.
The movie leads you to believe that there's a contingency plan for it, and he shows up just like, he's got the box! He's got it in the first 5 seconds he shows up.
Exactly, bro. And then I can't even think what else happens in that movie. The end credit scene was dope.
With
With Slade.
Deathstroke.
That was
That
dope.
was cool. It had Joe Manganiello looking like the fakest white-haired man I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
but,
Like it looked like he sprayed Just for Men with a touch of gray
such a great.
all over his face.
He did, but his suit was pretty bad.
The suit was cool. I enjoyed it when he didn't have his helmet off.
Oh, for sure. And if he takes that helmet off more than 3 times in whatever film he's ever gonna be in again.
He's never ever going to be in a movie again. Ever, I promise. The Batman movie has. They don't even have a release date for that Batman movie.
That movie
yet. I don't
is-
even think they still have a director.
I thought it was Matt Reeves from Planet of the Apes.
Is it Matt Reeves? I
think-
thought he
'cause
left.
I know Affleck was supposed to. He was like, nope. And
Yeah,
then
'cause he's like, this is garbage. He's like, I don't even want to be Batman anymore.
exactly. Yo, it's so sad, man.
It
It's
really is.
so sad. But no, I can't think of another genuinely good part in that film. Plenty of bad.
Plenty of bad.
Aquaman, you haven't seen it. That's the next on my list, so I'm gonna go into it for a bit.
Go for
I'm
it.
not gonna spoil anything for you. But like they make Atlantis Wakanda-like in the sense that hidden, you can only get in through like this way, and you have to get like these are the things that you have to do to get in. They don't just let anyone in.
Okay.
Like if you're from Jersey, they're not gonna let you in. You need to be of this type of species and do this in order to get.
Jersey.
Yeah, facts.
Unless you're Steppenwolf, and then you just walk right in.
Exactly. That's what kills me. That is what there's. Amber Heard goes out of her way to say, yeah, no one gets in or out because of those big giant cannons and these huge walls. No one's getting in here. And then, like, Aquaman just walks in Justice League. And I don't even think they reference it in Aquaman because they act like, oh, this is your first time to Atlantis. Come on in. And
No.
I don't know about y'all, but he was there a second ago. They do try to do this thing, though, where they tried to establish different kingdoms. Atlantis isn't just Atlantis. Atlantis has like its own colonies.
Oh, so it's like it's not just one city.
It's not.
Like,
there is
okay.
there is this Atlantis. There is the city of them. There is the city of them.
So it's like Wakanda with the tribes.
It's more of a continent, I think. I would reference it as a continent with little countries.
Okay.
Where instead of like country with tribes, yeah, I think it's more of continental, and then like, oh yeah, like we have to go to this side of the country in order to get to these people, and we ask them for help. By the way, Drago's in this one too.
And he looks terrible.
He
I
does
saw
look
him in the
terrible.
trailer. He looks terrible.
He was talking, and it was about a minute. No, it was like an hour into this 7-hour movie because it feels long as hell. It feels long as hell. I'm not gonna lie. It goes on. It's long-winded, but I'm like, is that Dolph? And like, I grab my phone and I open IMDb, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Dolph.
Oh yeah, it is.
And he's in it with that terrible wig. This movie was bad for wigs, by the way, because Amber Heard. You could freaking see the tag at hers, like it's bad.
Oh, she was wearing a wig? She didn't dye her red?
No, it was a wig,
Oh,
and
God.
it was a wig that she got in Orlando. Like it is, she got this at the same place you can get Swisher Sweets. Like it is not good at all, bro.
How was Green Goblin's wig?
Green Goblins. Who are we talking about?
No, we're talking about
Volko.
Oh, was that his name?
Volko, yeah.
Okay.
Norman, I know who you're talking about. No, I think he had his hair in a bun, so it wasn't bad. His character was good, by the way. He was the mentor type, and in the comics they do something different with his character, but I thought that it was still pretty valid. Like he was kind of like the bridge to Atlantis for Arthur. He was like, hey,
Okay.
so I knew your mom. She was good people. She was a good friend of mine. I'm gonna teach you because I feel like it's my duty. And yeah, there was a lot good. There were few bad. Like Black Manta, his motivations was trash. I'm sorry. His motivation was trash, and he was kind of like the Winter Soldier in the movie The Winter Soldier, not as in like, whoa, badass, as in more like, oh, he's in 3 scenes. Awesome. Dope. He was very Green Goblin Amazing Spider-Man 2-y, where they kind of just put him where there was space.
Okay. I got you.
And yeah, there were like, Orm was pretty good, but Orm was just...
Who?
Oh, his brother, Ocean Master.
Oh, the Ocean Master,
Yeah,
even better.
Yeah, that's his name, by the way. That's an actual thing. Good part is it's not his name. They made it a title, so I thought that was cool.
Thank God.
So it was more like you have to earn the Ocean Master, whereas, hey, look, Ocean Master, how you doing, bro? But he was just white Killmonger this whole movie, like right-handed God. He was just underwater Loki / white Killmonger. Like,
okay.
This movie is just underwater Thor / underwater Black Panther. There's nothing else I can really go into.
I like Thor. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and the politics are interesting. It's just they throw you in like you've seen like 3 of these Aquaman films, and yes, they eventually fill you in. But for that 15 minutes in between, you're like, who the hell are these fish people? What in God's name is going on? And their government is weird because now that I think about it as a continent with countries, it makes sense to me. But sitting there, I was like, so what the hell? Who are these people, and why do they know these people? I don't get it. There's more underwater people. What? But yeah, they try going into that. But that was my 3. What was your 2? Your 2 was Man of Steel.
My number 2. Sorry about the paper, audio listeners. That's not even my list. My list is at my feet. Yep, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Go into why you think it's 2.
Man of Steel is number 2, not number 1, because it is a pretty okay movie. Like, this movie did a really good job of introducing Superman, who I think is honestly like the lamest comic book character ever.
Understandable.
But they did a really good job of making you like feel for him. I mean, obviously it's not perfect. Like the color palette's not existent. Everything's gray.
Oh, for sure. Greatest movie I've ever seen.
Yes, it's slow-ish. Like not really ish. It's slow. It's a slow movie. It's long. I liked the villain. I love Zod. I love like how he's kind of tragic. Like he has no choice but to kill everything. You know, like he's programmed to do that. And like I think that this is the best Superman movie they're ever gonna make.
For sure.
I don't think that you're gonna get any more interesting than what this movie brought to the table. Just because what else are you gonna do with them? Like it's really hard to. Everything this movie did was undone in Batman v Superman because they didn't make him feel human. Like they just kind of made him a shallow, like husk of a character. This movie did not. This movie introduced him, showed him as a kid. Like he kind of spent time with this character before he became Superman, and It felt personal. The characters surrounding him, on the other hand, some of them were trash. Like, some of them were absolute garbage. The writing was pretty good. Lois Lane, every movie she like plays like a different character,
a different Lois,
because
right.
like
she does do that.
In this movie, she's like hard-hitting reporter. I'm gonna go and do stuff. Like, I found this spaceship on my own.
Exactly.
Thing, and then just coming back to Justice League, she's like, I didn't write stories because of Clark. But like, he comes back to life, and he's like, what? I don't even care.
And in BVS, she was a freaking damsel in distress.
Yeah,
the entire film.
And this movie it's not like action packed, right? So like, there's a really good, the end 45 minutes, right, are like straight up Dragon Ball Z air fight, like alien throwdown, awesome. Before that, there's not a whole lot of action at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's him learning how to fly, which I guess you got to do. Some of the CG's trash.
Yeah.
By the way, like that scene where he's learning how to fly sucks.
And he flies through those pack of antelopes.
Yeah. Henry Cavill is a great Superman.
Yeah.
Like, I feel so bad that he got wasted on this trash universe, because he is a really, really good Superman.
Yes,
and I feel bad for him, because he really wasn't. He can't do much.
Yeah.
And with this, it's not up to him. But I feel like it was miles above any of the other ones besides my number one. And I thought this is the only movie where he had any sort of depth or felt like a character.
Yes, I agree.
What are your thoughts on Man of Steel, John?
I'm gonna go into that one last because that's not my number two.
That's not your number two?
My number two is Wonder Woman.
What? That's my number one.
Wonder Woman is important, in my opinion. To me, it sparked the inclusion series of films, the Aquamans, the Black Panthers, the Miles Moraleses. This is what sparked it to me. I think it was really good. It was a great period piece. I like period pieces for the most part. Her relationship with Chris Pine was beautiful. It was great.
They had great chemistry.
They had the best. Chris Pine is so funny.
They made me actually care about the characters that I was seeing on screen.
They made me care about Mr. American Man. His German accent's actually pretty funny. Like, when he goes undercover, it's actually funny. And yeah, I feel like everyone has the right motivation, and it does a good job at trying to take you off track. I feel Diana was great. Her backstory was interesting because I was ignorant to it. I have read, the only Diana stories I have read were involved with the Justice League. I have never read a solo Wonder Woman. So reading this or seeing this, I was like, oh, okay. This is good. This is interesting. I like the Greek mythology. That painting scene where they go through the history of everything, that was beautiful. Easily one of the prettiest things that the DCEU has done. Honestly, I think it's great. I think the ending is a little lackluster for me. I like his little group, his little posse was cute as hell. I love the chemistry they had. I thought, like, oh, he doesn't like sniping people anymore because of the PTSD. Oh, Sammy Davis Jr. is like really good with technology. By the way, he looks like Sammy Davis Jr. I'm not sure if you've ever seen a picture of Sammy Davis. No. But I couldn't tell if he was Ecuadorian or Indian or African.
I couldn't tell either.
But Sammy Davis Jr. and him are like twins. It's scary. Hashtag Rat Pack. But
also, real quick, I like how they bring the guy who can snipe people along. Like, well, he can snipe anybody from like 3 miles away. He's super, and he's like the most useless one this whole pack of people.
Done nothing to nothing in this entire film. And then there's the Native American, who was also pretty important, and he had some really good lines too. He had a good line on how his land was taken by Chris Pine's people, and Wonder Woman's reaction to that was very nice. I like that line. This movie was it was like First Avenger Part 2 to me. That's the thing. And I understand they don't have to copy the model of the MCU, but I do understand that the model has already been set, and if there are similarities, there are similarities. I understand that. I feel like Diana, she did good, and her fish out of the water story was very good. And it was moving, and it was like her dress shopping was hilarious. Yes. That was so funny. Just her cursing out the generals because they're cowards. Really good, powerful scene. Calling Chris Pine a liar was funny. Like, all of it is good. The only reason this is not up there for me is because of those villains. And I like Burnt Face Lady. I like her a lot. I thought she was cool. I like how her and Stryker from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I like how they essentially made Venom for Bane. Like, they eventually,
pretty much.
They basically made Bane's formula. And they were evil to be evil, and they were comic booky evil, and they were hilarious. Like that scene where they like get the grenade and toss it in there and throw the one mask, and then they just close it and start snickering together. That was so fun. I remember seeing it and being like, "What the hell am I watching?"
Oh, seriously though, like they're so shallow. I like the bait and switch there at the end. Thank God.
Yes,
but
because I thought the same thing that we did. And then it turns out Remus Lupin himself was Ares, and oh my God, that hurt me. When I saw that, I was like, ah, man.
Yeah.
I think his reveal was cool. The way he revealed himself was cool. That scene where they were in the watchtower and every time she turned around, he was gone. Really well edited, in my opinion. I just think it does that thing that the DC movies do where they just end in crazy big nuclear fight.
Yep.
And it's just, for that one, it doesn't make sense to me.
That's the same problem I had with it, honestly.
That, like, Man of Steel makes sense. The Batman v Superman kind of makes sense. I don't like how they go out of the way to say, hey, island's uninhabited.
Yeah, I know, right? Like this uninhabited, abandoned island that nobody lives on, so there's no casualties, right?
Everyone went home from work. Therefore, Doomsday could do what he wants. But this one, like, it's the same thing, essentially. You know, they're fighting on this base. Everyone's mind control. I did not like the mind control thing. I thought, oh, they're possessed by Ares. Or they could just, you know, recruit to the war because they kind of had to. I mean, that could be why too. I don't know how war works, but like, but it was just little things like that just kind of ticked me off. At the same time, I don't know, like, it was great, and that kind of just killed it. Like, I would give it a strong 9 if not for that. And just for me.
He kind of didn't have a lot going for him anyway. I mean, they could have choreographed that better because Ares, like, you know, give him a sword, have him fight, do whatever.
No, he was just throwing metal at her.
He was throwing metal at her, and it was a big beam fight.
He was Magneto.
Yeah, pretty much. His armor was not good either. It's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
that's like one of the only complaints I have about this movie because it was, to me, the best DC film they have. Especially
I love the scene from the from the one where on the front to like the village. Perfect.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Everything about it was perfect.
So
her
good.
Walking up the thing, her just throwing the bullets to the side. I wish they didn't put that in the trailer, to be honest, because it gave me goosies when I saw it.
Goosies.
Yeah, it did, bro. It was great, and her plugging through all those dudes. I like seeing Diana fight regular people, because she's the only real warrior. Like, there's a list on DC made a canon list as to who is the fastest, and it's like Wally West Flash, Barry Allen Flash, whatever. They put Wonder Woman at like 5, ahead of like Superman and Shazam and all that. Yeah, and their explanation was she's the only real warrior. She's the only one who knows the mechanics of running. She's the only one who actually knows what she's doing here. So I feel like they displayed that great in the opening scene on the beach, where it's just soldiers against arrows the whole time. Like, that was awesome. Terrible CG.
Oh, awful CG.
God,
it was I got a really big like 300 vibe from this movie, which is
so good.
Man, it's good.
The big action set pieces were nice, especially when she yells "shield," or Chris Pine yells it, and then she jumps on the thing, goes through the clock tower to get that sniper. That was great, especially the fallout of that too.
Yes.
Just that little slice of life piece where they're all like in the village and they're singing, and Chris Pine teaches her how to dance, and oh look, this is snow. And then after that, it just kind of, I think it pumped the brakes after that.
It did. The ending was definitely not really fulfilling.
I did like Chris Pine's death.
That gave me goosebumps.
That was great.
I was like, what?
Especially
like,
since
I knew he was gonna die.
Especially since her ears were ringing.
Yeah.
When it was going, oh, that was really good. Shout out to Patty Jenkins for doing that, because that was really good.
I hope the second one can live up to it.
I hope Chris Pine is. Have you seen any of the pictures?
He's back.
Yeah.
And he's in a tracksuit.
I swear to God, he better be a freaking dream sequence, because if he's alive, I'm gonna be.
He's gonna be alive. I promise.
I'm going to be very angry.
Because if he was a dream piece, why would he be in a tracksuit?
Just because that's what she's used to.
She's like,
She's in the 80s now.
she's like, my Chris Evans wears a tracksuit now.
So go on as to why it's your number one, or did you say your piece?
I think it's my number one because I think it has the most heart.
Yeah.
Like it's the most sincere out of all the DC films. I think most of them feel like cash grabs. Like
Yes.
most of them feel like they're playing catch up. Besides Man of Steel, which stands on its own, but it's still boring. This movie is not very boring. There's very little downtime. And the downtime that's there, you care about what the characters are saying or doing, which is more than I can say for most of the DC films.
Yes, and I do agree it has the most heart. I also think this was a love letter to her, in my opinion. This was kind of like, this was their love letter to Wonder Woman, to Diana, to all that, in my opinion. Like, I thought it was very moving. It was a moving movie.
It was moving, and I definitely got that vibe that this woman who was directing, Patty Jenkins, like definitely grew up watching Wonder Woman on the TV or reading the comic books or whatever, and like has always wanted to make this movie, kind of, because if you look at her I think she directed Monster.
I don't know what that is.
It's a movie with Charlize Theron in it. It was really good,
nice.
and like it's not really a strong female lead. Like she's kind of like terrible throughout the movie, but like it is a strong.
It's led, you know.
Yeah,
female led.
like
I hope, because I know it made a killing overseas, like a killing. I pray to God that they give this girl a budget for the next one.
Man, I don't know.
Because I know they did delay it a few months. It got delayed. I'm not sure if you heard.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why?
They didn't say, but they did delay it for a bit, and they just finished principal photography not long ago, as of recording at least.
I'm just kind of worried because sequels are rarely better than the original. I think I've only seen it done 3 times.
Especially with DC.
Oh yeah, and as long as it's Patty Jenkins, I think she knows what she's doing.
Yes.
Like, I think DC's at this point where they're like, you know what?
They need
Go
to,
wild.
They need to stop giving Snyder all the reins.
Yeah.
Right? They need to stop. Like Jeff Johns, who has been like, he's like the biggest DC guy right now. He's like king of the DC right now. He's like their comic directive leader, and he steps in to write all the good shit. Like he wrote the best. He made Aquaman cool again. He wrote like the good Green Lantern stuff.
Really?
He wrote the Shazam story that the movie's gonna be based on, and he needs to do like the Kevin Feige Marvel thing where he's like, all right, this is what we're gonna do for the rest of this. Like we're gonna flashpoint it, even though we're like 2 movies into this franchise, and then we're gonna clean everything up. And I think they should clean everything up.
Yeah.
But I know I'm gonna go into my number one, which is the Man of Steel, and I totally understand why you said all of that. For me, this is like on my top 10 superhero list. For me.
I've heard that. Well, I've heard that opinion thrown out a lot. A lot of people like this movie.
I like it because the one thing I genuinely hated is what I've told you before. Why is it that Clark Kent sounds like he's from like Oxford? Like why does he sound like he went to Brown? Like he
like, ooh, wait, I'm Clark Kent.
Exactly. Like, I want him to have an accent, and again, I don't want him to be like a hick. I don't want to doing chewing tobacco. I don't want him spit and dip while he's fighting Zod and wearing his real tree hat or whatever that camel thing is. But what I do want him to have some like southern twang, because he was raised in Kansas by people from Kansas. Why do you sound like you live in Brooklyn, Kal-El? Come on, bro. Like, I need something. But other than that, like, I thought the origin was mad real. I really loved the Jor-El set piece.
The Krypton stuff was cool.
The Krypton stuff was
stuff was really cool. And it made sense that they're not all super powered. Like, they're all just fighting like normal people.
Exactly. And I did like how they explained, oh yeah, we're gonna send him to Earth because the cells. Like the cells and that son, like he's gonna be freaking God over there, bro. I did like that. I love how they try to explain that, hey, he is the first natural birth in forever. We have never had this. The last time we had this was forever ago. I love that. Like you said, Zod, my favorite part.
Yeah, Zod was great.
Zod, like you said it best when he was like, hey, listen, I'm sorry I gotta raise your planet, but it's what I'm programmed to do. Like, the only way you are going to beat my programming is if you kill me. I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you. I knew your dad, but like, this is what I was literally made to do.
Yeah.
Are they picking up trash out there? They sure are. Gross. Sorry, there's people outside picking up trash. But no, like, I feel like Cal is a good character. He is a damn good character, and him finding out his powers, like just triggering, was so cool.
Yeah.
Like when he was just in school and seeing his teacher's lungs, that was great. I also like how all that stuff that he had training for, it just hit Zod and Fiora like real quick. Like I just smacked him in the face, like, oh,
Yeah, he's like, ah,
oh,
I
geez.
have a migraine.
Oh my god! Why can I hear everything right now? I loved that. I know you said the end fight, but that middle fight is my favorite. In Smallville, when they're just punching each other.
Oh, you're talking about the two aliens?
Yo.
Yeah. And he's just getting his ass beat once again, bringing around town.
Again, that's one of my favorite things. How these are trained killers in their world, and now they have god powers. This is just a guy with god powers that, like, I guess he saw a few Bruce Lee movies before. Like, he has no form. He's just swinging and hoping it lands. These people are killers.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, Fiora and I think the other guy's name is like Tor-On or something like that.
I didn't know they had names.
Yeah, I knew her because the both of them were in Superman 2. I know Fiora was definitely, but the other guy was just the big Hulk, whatever. But no, like they should, for all intents and purposes, Cal should have died. Superman,
absolutely.
Superman should have gotten wrecked when he did it.
Oh, he got wrecked, all right. He got wrecked that whole movie except for the last 10 minutes?
Exactly. Like, he got wrecked by the oil rig. He got wrecked by that one guy with that beer can.
Yeah, he threw a beer can at him. Put his phone up, or he put his truck in a telephone pole.
Oh my god, I love it. I love, like, just stuff like that too. Like how he refuses to fight, how he's been on the run to avoid people from tracking him.
Yeah.
Lois Lane tracking him was genius to me, and that's why I hated her role in BVS so much, because I thought she was so good in Man of Steel.
Yeah, they shit all over her.
They've really made her the damsel, and she shouldn't have been the damsel, bro. She was so intelligent, and her interviewing all these people, and that one like bully who was like, yeah, he saved me. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
He saved me.
And I did like the continuity because those people were they were at the funeral for Clark in Batman v Superman. Yeah, like I know the nerdy guy who like worked at IHOP or whatever.
Yeah, he
like,
did.
he worked at he was at Clark's funeral. I thought that was really good attention to detail for Zach.
Yeah.
But no, like Man of Steel is, yes, Superman is lame, and he has been since 1938, and I personally think it's going to be hard for them to make him not lame. I know the guy who made Miles Morales is writing him now, Brian Michael Bendis.
Oh, okay.
He's writing him now, and it's supposed to be really good. But yeah, I think it's hard to make someone like that cool and relatable, so the best way to make it is how they did it.
Yes, I would agree. I think that is the best they're going to get.
That is the
with
best
any Superman movie
best
ever.
Superman film any of us are ever going to see, because he is unrelatable. He is God. And I feel like it would have been better if in BVS they would have played with how a regular man is dealing with a God complex. How he's dealing with being deified by all these people. I think that would have been important. But I understand why they didn't play that. I get it. But I don't know. Man of Steel is my number one. And I feel like it's, like I said, top 10 superhero movies for sure.
I've heard that opinion thrown around a lot. My brother-in-law swears by it. He thinks it's the best superhero movie ever made.
It's so smart, man. And like I said, Zod sells it. And when he kills Zod, bro, just him screaming. It's when he's like, yo, it's either you kill me or I kill them because I was made to kill them.
It's a good moment.
It's so great. And I like how they essentially destroy Metropolis. I don't like how they fix Metropolis in like a month.
Yeah, right.
It pisses me off.
Right. He destroys like half the city. They're like, oh, that's not a big deal.
They're like, oh, damn, that sucks. 1 month later, Clark on a bike. Like, I did. My favorite thing in the movie was the last line where Lois is like, welcome to the planet. I don't know about you, but that hit me. I was like, I love this. I might watch it tonight. Damn, it's 12:04.
You know what? Have fun going to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna go to bed when I gotta clock in tomorrow. Jesus, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening to us piss and moan about the DC films. Thank you for dealing with it. Honestly, we hope that you like or comment or subscribe or anything. Give us feedback because we're still new at this. I think we only recorded like 4 in total, and any feedback is good feedback, so thank you so much. I hope everyone has a good night.
Let us know what your favorite upcoming DC movie is, not Suicide Squad 2.
Spoiler alert, it's Shazam. It's always Shazam. 100% Shazam.